When I moved to Portland, I was hoping for a fresh start. New job, new apartment, new city to explore. At 23, I needed distance from everything. Dead-end relationships, suffocating family expectations, and a lingering sense that I never really belonged in the town I left behind. The first few weeks were full of noise and motion. I stayed busy. I went to the weekend market. I smiled at strangers. I was trying to be someone else. Then I noticed him. It started at a little cafe on Alder Street. I was reading Rebecca. Go figure. And when I looked up, he was outside, standing still in the mist, watching me through the window. He didn't look away. He didn't even blink, just stared. He was tall and rail-thin, wearing a brown coat stained around the hem, like he'd been wading through mud. His hair hung over his face in long, greasy strands, and his skin had that bloated, grayish tone like something that had been left in the rain too long. But it was his eyes that unsettled me. Wide and glassy, like he wasn't seeing me so much as absorbing me. I told myself it was nothing. Big city. Weirdos are everywhere. But the next day he was on my bus. 3 rows up, slouched in the seat like he'd folded his bones in the wrong way. His head tilted back just enough so he could watch me through the space between the seats. When I got off, he followed. I stopped at a drugstore pretending to browse cold medicine. 10 minutes later, I saw him reflected in the freezer door standing behind me. That night, I dreamt of drowning in a dark lake. When I woke up, my mouth tasted like iron. The following days blurred. I started seeing him more often. Outside my building, across from the laundromat, even once through the fogged window of my shower. I thought I was losing my mind, so I tried to test it. One afternoon, I walked to a part of town I'd never been. No phones, no maps, just walking, twisting and turning until I was sure no one could follow. And there he was, at the end of the alley, still, silent, like he knew I'd be there, like he'd been waiting all along. I started having gaps, hours I couldn't explain, waking up with bruises on my arms, dirt under my nails. I began recording myself at night with an old baby monitor I found at a thrift store. The first few nights were quiet, just tossing and turning. Then on the 4th night, I heard footsteps inside the apartment. Then the sound of breathing, wet, labored, irregular. At exactly 3:42 a.m., the camera cut to static. When I pressed play again, it resumed at 3:47. I was standing in the middle of the room, eyes open, smiling. I don't remember it. I took the footage to the police. They humored me, said maybe I sleepwalked, that the man I kept seeing could be a stress-induced hallucination, that trauma can manifest in strange ways. The detective even asked if I had a history of mental illness. I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just nodded and walked out, numb. The next day there was a note taped to my door. No words, just a drawing. A stick figure girl, long hair, and beside her a tall man with no face, just an empty oval. In the corner a symbol, an eye with something like claws or roots growing from it. I started researching symbols, obscure folklore, sleep paralysis demons, urban legends. There's something older than any story we've written. Something that follows, latches on. A watcher, one account called it. A being that feeds on attention. The more you notice it, the stronger it becomes. You bring it with you when you run. But by then it didn't matter what I believed. Because last night it finally came closer. I was walking home from work. It was late and the streets were empty. Street lamps flickered as I passed. The moment I stepped onto my block, I heard him behind me. Footsteps slow and scraping like nails dragged along the pavement. I ran. I don't remember unlocking the door, just slamming it behind me and locking every bolt. I backed into the corner of my bedroom and slid down the wall, shaking. Then the door handle moved. Not forceful. Just a gentle test, like he was reminding me the lock wouldn't hold forever. I stayed up all night. The shadows moved strangely after 2 a.m. and the air felt wrong. Like the whole apartment had shifted a few inches to the left, like I wasn't entirely in my body anymore. I'm writing this from a motel, paid in cash. Left my phone in the freezer at the apartment. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Every time I close my eyes, I see that faceless figure standing over my bed. I keep hearing whispers in the static of the motel TV, just below the frequency of understanding, like a voice speaking theirs through broken glass. This morning I woke up on the motel floor. My hands were scratched, dirt caked under my nails. The sheets were ripped off the bed like something had been pulled from it, or dragged. I checked the door, still locked from the inside. No signs of entry. Then I noticed the mirror. Words were written in the fog, though there hadn't been any steam. Do you remember now? My stomach dropped. I don't know what I'm supposed to remember. I checked my phone, even though I'd left it behind. It was on the nightstand, battery full, no missed calls. But there was a new video in my gallery. No title. Just a thumbnail, black screen, time-stamped from 3 hours ago. I pressed play. At first, nothing, just silence, and what looked like the inside of the motel room, filmed from a low angle like it had been placed on the floor. Then movement. I stepped into the frame. Not the me sitting here now. Another version of me, hair matted, eyes blank, smiling that same eerie, vacant smile I'd seen in the baby monitor footage. She walked toward the bed, sat down, and stared directly into the camera. And just before the video cut to black, she whispered something I can't stop replaying in my head. He's almost done with me. I don't remember filming it. I don't remember being her, but I can feel something shifting in my thoughts, in my body, like I'm unraveling from the inside out, like something else is moving in. I need to leave again. I don't know where. I don't even know if it matters anymore. The lights are flickering. There's a knock at the door. Not loud, just patient, rhythmic. I want to scream, but something in me is calm now. Too calm. I think I'm going to open it.